This is the Simpit. I'm your host, Sean Cole, and welcome to today's edition of the Pitstop for December 6th. It is Wednesday, hump day, and we have the sim racing news to talk about. Everything going on in sim racing. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being the real star of today's show, because without you guys, there'd be no point in talking about today's news. So we do have a bit to cover today, a few things going on in sim racing, and you know, when I started these shows, I thought we'd get to a point where we were just really dry, and I'd come on and say, well, that's all I got. See you later. And so far, we haven't had many of those days, which is very good. There's a lot going on in sim racing. It could be because we're at the end of the year where everyone's trying to get things in for 2017, and we'll have to see if it continues in 2018, if we have daily news or not. But I'm enjoying myself. I'm having a great time hanging out with you guys. And again, thank you for being part of the pit crew. And I see some of our regulars here in the chat. I see Thawman just came into the room, and I got to thank you personally because you have sent me so many stories. A lot of guys send me things all the time, but the man sends me like 10 every day. I really, really appreciate it, and you definitely have added to the show. All of you added to the show. And hello, William, thank you. We're doing great. And just to update, I guess whenever any tragedy happens in the world, I always give my heartfelt thoughts and feelings to those people. Southern California is on fire. I don't know if you've seen the news, but there are fires all around. I've probably gotten 20, 30 phone calls, emails, or texts from people saying, are you okay? Because Ventura is one of the big fires, and I am in Ventura. But unless you see that fire at the water, I'm all right. So I feel bad for all those people. Again, heartfelt thoughts and prayers for everybody dealing with fire's got to be. I can't even imagine the fear of fire. We live through earthquakes, and you get to be afraid of them after the fact. You think of flood, and for me, water is something I'm pretty good with water. But fire, that is scary, scary stuff. So good luck to everybody out there dealing with it. And now I hear there's a skirball fire over my old neck of the woods, West LA. And so, anyway, all of LA is on fire. I am safe and sound. Pit crew, or the Sim Pit, is safe and sound. I just hope we can keep our electricity on. We did lose some electricity. That prevented a few of the live streams we were going to do, actually. Some of the teasers on the iRacing content. So, thank you, William. Thank you, everybody. And that's what's going on with this. Anyway, let's move on to the news. Let's get right to it. See what's going on in sim racing. And of course, anything you guys want to talk about, you just let me know, and we'll take a diversion and talk about it. I don't have any good picks, John. It's not even that close to me. So anyway, here we are at Forza site, and there are a couple of things on Forza. They're doing their Tuesday drive, or that was yesterday. But what is this car? I saw this car in the picture, and I'm like, is that a Porsche? I don't know what kind of car that is. So anybody who knows and is a big Forza fan and can let me know. I would like to know, just for personal reasons, what car is that? I think it's a Porsche, but I don't want to speak incorrectly. Beyond that, Forza. Today is, I believe, when the Doritos car pack comes out. So, some of these car packs are really unusual when you look at Forza Motorsport 7. And it's kind of funny. Some of the cars are like, oh, awesome, that's great. And some of them are like, wow, why would you even bother putting that in a sim game? I mean, like, there's a great car. I mean, anybody who's into classics knows the Chevy 150, the poor man's Bel Air, a certain hot rod. This is, if you ever saw that movie about racing in Cuba. Now, why is this in there? I mean, I guess they have their off-road stuff, but anyway, it just kind of cracks me up, some of the cars that they add in. And am I really going to pay money for some of these car packs? In the case of the Doritos car pack, is that free? Somebody said this is the best car pack ever in the comments. Anyway, so that's coming out for Forza Motorsport 7. I just realized, yeah, you can hear it through my microphone a little. Can you guys hear the audio for that, just out of curiosity? Next story. This is from iRacing, and, have you guys driven it? So, yesterday, just lost my mind with Rallycross. I had so much work to do, and I didn't do any of it because all I wanted to do was Rallycross race. I streamed 3, 2 of them were failures. One of them was a victory. I ended up running one more race later at night with some friends. I didn't stream it because I figured I'm probably getting to the point of boring you guys with streams of me racing. So, but what are your guys' thoughts? I'm having a blast, and I think the cars are great. I think the physics is great. If you've ever taken an ATV or a car off-road, it is a totally different handling than on the road. The balance of the car, the way it works with the friction of the ground is completely different. And I've been very thrilled with the way the iRacing physics have been on the rallycross. So, I've had a lot of fun. I've actually won 2 races. I've run 4. I've won 2. So, I'm doing all right. One of them was I pretty much won outright, the one I streamed. The next one, I had to work my butt off. I had to use that Joker lap perfectly in order to get into the lead. And it was a lot of fun. I've run 2 tracks competitively. I've run at Daytona and then at Phoenix. And as much as I want to run it more today, I have to get back to work. So, what do you guys thought? A lot of you guys are talking about it being difficult, very easy to spin out. It is. It's very hard to do. It's easy to drive the car. It's hard to go fast. All right on, Doug. I'm not planning on stopping. I just figured maybe I have to keep it in control. How much? So anyway, I'd love to hear more of your guys' thoughts, and you can put them here in the conversation, or you could go ahead and just email them to me. Even I'd love to think your thoughts on it. And yeah, Steam, that's a great point as well. With the addition of this, their base content, you get a basic membership without buying any additional content, and it is increased. There's now more free content than there used to be, and that is awesome. And there's some paid content as well. Oh, Michael, I haven't even gone and looked at that. I need to. I mean, we saw the video, so I guess we've kind of seen it. I just haven't seen it in action. That is cool. Steam King. Oh, I'm so glad you brought that up. Let me try to bring that up during the show. I loved it. I loved the slides. Steam King did something that I wanted to do with the show and just didn't get to, but he actually made the actual pizza. So I'll see if I can bring that up. If not, I'll try to get that into tomorrow's show. I might not be able to find it well enough while doing the stream here. So let's move on. I don't need, I barely use the e-brake or handbrake at all at Phoenix. I do use it at Daytona. But I did my first testing just using a button. And if you get to the rhythm of clicking it very quickly, or 2 super quick clicks, or 1 slightly long click, then you can kind of get it done. So it can be done without a handbrake, in other words. Dirt 4, I'm sorry, just Dirt. They are coming out, well, it is Dirt 4, sorry. They are introducing their clubs. So we just talked about this just the other day for Gran Turismo. We talked about it for Forza. Clubs, getting into teams. That is now being added to Dirt 4. They have a new patch coming out, including T500 support. So if you're into Dirt 4 and you've been away for a while, or maybe you didn't play it because your T500 wasn't working up to par on the PS4, then you can get the latest update and get it. And if you want to get into a team and get into some, other levels of multiplayer racing with Dirt 4, you're going to be able to do that. WRC, we've talked about and followed their Esport, their official WRC Esport finals. It is going to be on tomorrow. That's 6 hours ago they posted this, so that should be tomorrow, 4 p.m. CET, final qualifying rounds, 7 p.m. the grand finale. So you might want to, if you want to watch the best of the best in this and see who's going to be the esports stars of tomorrow for WRC, you can watch that live. And that's going to be the other aspect that we haven't really talked about in the whole 2018 being the year of esport. But it also means it's the year of entertainment for all of us, getting to watch highly competitive races where there's a lot on the line. I mean, sure, it's fun to watch me race. I think it's even more fun to watch a race that has a lot of money on the line or a lot of prizes at stake. So that's something that we can look forward to much more often. Not just having the competitions going on, but having good live streams of them that we can watch. So, next up, oh, I went too far on that one. Fanatec, the Advent calendar. Oh, where'd it go? Come on, come on. Oh, I'm killing myself here. Their website seems to be down. We'll come back to that topic. GT Isle of Man, they've got a new, one of these movable photos, which I find very interesting because it's not like it's this super wide photo you could look around. And I'm not saying it just because of them. I've seen this in many things, and it's like, I'm sorry, if I crop my image to here and let you only look to there and there, it's really just kind of messing with the original image. The other thing, and I talked about them being at Motorcycle Live, it ended 10 days ago. Everyone got a chance to actually drive it. I see all they had were controllers, you know, hand controllers for the racing, which I can't think of anything much better than that for a driving game, a motorcycle game at this point. But I would like to know if anybody's driven it and what you think about it, and if it has any hope of being fun. Anything on? Nope, we still can't get to the Fanatec Advent calendar, so we're gonna have to skip that. Now we're into stories that came from the man, and again, one of the reasons I love what he sends is they're off my radar. So what he found here, this is a community event going on in Australia. This is on the 9th of December, so coming up in 3 days at Centennial Parklands. I don't know anything about the layout of the land in Australia, but if that is close to you, if you're down in Australia and that's nearby and you want to go meet some other sim racers, they do have this event going on. So you can check it out. This is at AK Racing, ak-racing.com.au. So if you're looking for some fun, looking for some in-person racing and hanging out with others, that could be cool for you. And speaking of hanging out with others, there's a new sim center opening up in New York City. So I don't know the layout of New York City either, but 114 Suffolk Street is where it's going to be in New York City, 10002. And they are going to have a competition going on also on the 9th. So if you're in that area and you want to go meet some other sim racers, drive some sim, and maybe even win some prizes, head on down there, and you can check that out at eventbrite.com is where this story came from. And it's called the Hubneo Virtual Circuit VR Racing Competition. David, yes, you definitely can. Send me an email at Sean, S-H-A-U-N, at thesimpit.com, and I'll send you a logo kit. David asked if their team could put Simpit logos on their car, and the answer to any of you out there, whether you're a team or an individual, is absolutely. Send me an email, Sean, S-H-A-U-N, at thesimpit.com, and I'll send you a logo kit. And I'd love to have you putting our logo on your cars and letting the world know about our show. So absolutely, you can do that. What else? Oh, I know one. So, let me bring up this image real quick. Where did it go? Oh, let me add an image to my show real quick. I'm sorry, guys. Bear with me. Bear with me. So, the big one, Dennis, is the one who provides our server for sim racing systems. So I just brought up a graphic. That is at thesimpit.com. You see that banner there? And it is for the stats. It is for our ability to see everyone's practice times on the server. So this is lap stat, and you'll see that banner. And if you click that banner, it will take you to this screen here, where you can see the lap times and sector times of all of the people who have posted times on our server. And this is a great time to bring this up, because one of our next topics actually is tonight's practice session at Road America. So tonight at 6 o'clock, 6 p.m., we will be practicing Road America, see if we can get that BMW up to speed for tomorrow and Friday night's races at 6 p.m. So, Dennis, thank you very much for the server. Thank you very much for getting this lap stat going, because this is very good. You might get on that server and might find, I don't know where I stand. So now you can go see where you stand. And if you want to know how far behind Cy Yip you are, you can find out. He's running a 203.995. and it keeps track of everybody. So we can go to page 3 here, and 44 places out is where we're at right now, and I'm sure that'll get better with time. And live map. Where is the live map, Dennis? Live map, here you go. So up at the top, we have sessions, drivers, championship statistics. There's the live map right now, 40 minutes left in the current practice server. So this just shows you exactly what's going on with that practice server at all times. And if somebody was out on track, I think we'd see them running around. That's what makes it a live map. I do not have any Simpit hats. I'm not a hat guy, but I might be able to come up with something. So, if I come up with something, it'll be via Cafe Press. It'll be just like the mugs. It's like I'll create something, I'll get the link, and then I'll put it out there for you guys. In the case of this, I probably won't order a hat because, again, I'm not a big hat guy. That is really it. Last things I'm going to tell you about today really are, yesterday I did the iRacing Daytona Long Global Rallycross, so if you want to see it in action, in that race we learned a lot of mistakes because it was our first time getting to see the heat system, the penalty system, and that's good stuff. Yeah, thank you, John. You're a real help to today's show. I appreciate it. Thank you, buddy. So, anyway, no, I don't like hats. Here's why I don't like hats. This is just my opinion. We can argue or talk about this. I don't have hair. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I'm bald. And I feel like the minute I put on a hat that I'm, like, misrepresenting myself. I'm, like, hiding behind my hat and being like, oh, don't look, I'm not actually bald. I am bald, and I'm bold, and I'm proud of it. So I shave my head. I don't mind it, and I don't wear a hat for that reason. But that's my whole thing on baseball hats, at least. So we get this shirt and wear it on your head. Okay, you guys, we are way off topic. The other race I did, so in that Daytona first race, we learned how to get disqualified, and you can do that very easily by doing the wrong thing, taking the Joker lap on lap 1 at Daytona. So that we can learn from my mistakes on that one. GRC2 Phoenix, I believe that's the race I actually won, or did I win my other one? No, I won my second one at Daytona. GRC Phoenix, I actually had a bad race in that one as well, but you can learn from my mistakes there. I had a really rough race, in fact. So we did claw our way back. We had a bad heat race. We had a just got in the consolation race, and then we went from 10th to 4th, I believe, in the final race. So those streams are there yesterday, and you can check them out if you just want to see how the GRC works. And beyond that, I know Mitchie Hoyer is here in the stream. I know he was going to be on the stream later today. So, Mitchie, you can let us all know when you're going to go on. Give us a time or something like that. But, well, Mitchie, and you know him. You know he is a race engineer and an alien driver. So, if you want to learn from the best, you want to learn about setup, you want to learn about driving line, you want to learn about competition, Mitchie's a great guy to learn from. So he will be on later today, probably in the next few hours. So hopefully he'll chime in on the chat and let us know when. But you can look forward to that. And then I'll be back at 6 p.m. tonight with our practice from Road America, which should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that. One of my favorite tracks. I almost brought them out. I bought some Johnsonville brats last night. And if you know the track, you'll know what I'm talking about. So anyway, that should be very good. Mark asked if I'd run bigger screens. Maybe a little bit bigger. You know, I played with 47s and 55s, and there's a point where screens get too big for me. I would honestly like maybe something a little bigger. These are 27s that I'm on right now, and I love my 27s, and they're extremely good monitors. They are built for 3D, so their refresh rate and latency is just perfect for gaming, and it's very expensive and very hard to get large monitors that have the same refresh rate. Is that critical? No, but I really do like having top gaming monitors, and it would be hard to achieve that with large ones. But you know, to each his own. I like getting it so it feels right. All right, Steam, let me see if I can find that real quick. Bear with me, you guys. I'm going to do this because it's deserved, very much so. Steam King. Bear with me, you guys. I have a lot of emails, so it takes a while to find individuals. Let's just try to do a quick search. If not, I'll do this for tomorrow. Here we go. All right, here we go. Sorry about that delay. So we had our sim racing pizza poll, and I appreciate Steam King taking the time to do this, and it's something I actually wanted to add to it. It's a Google Doc. I'll do a post with something at the Simpit, which I need to do a lot of catch up or cleanup work on. But what we have here is he basically took it and put it into like an outline format if you were going to do a presentation. That's what it almost reminds me of. Instead of my 24-minute drawn-out show, we can kind of summarize things. So, you know, number one, the title page, table of contents where we are, the results, and then the credits. And page 3 being the meat and potatoes here. But this shows you how it really boiled down. When we talk about it being a pizza, taking a slice from each pie, there were 38 slices in our pie. And you can see that iRacing did very well, winning 17. So 17 of the slices of pizza, that whole blue section would be iRacing. And Project Cars was next in line, coming in with 10 of the slices. And they're the gold section. Assetto Corsa came in with 8 slices of the pie with the, it says silver, where's Assetto? They're in gold, I'm sorry. Project Cars is in red. R-Factor, on the pie. R-Factor 2 is in green, getting 2 of the 38 race room, getting one of the big 3 with sounds. So that gives you a good idea what this year's pizza looks like. And if you want, or not if you want, but next year when we do another one of these, and I've been talking to a few people about this, and I think we might do this every 6 months instead of every year. Mitchie, you can say that, but I don't know if I agree. I think that iRacing won the categories. If you were going to point any fingers, I'm just being really honest about things. If you really want to point any fingers, you have to point it at the questions of the 38 categories. And I'm not pointing a finger saying we did it right or wrong, but there are a handful of categories that iRacing was really the only reasonable option. And it kind of gave them a shoe-in on at least 4 categories. I don't remember which one specifically, but because nobody else is even doing certain things that iRacing does, but because they do, I thought when I was putting the questions, and I can't even say because this actually started out as that train wreck Sim Pizza poll, where we ended up just trying to put the questions together. So if you guys want to be a big help for the next version of this, if you don't like the results and you'd like to see them change, feel free to go back to the poll. It's still there. The links are still there. Look through the questions and feel free, and I really mean this, feel free to email me, Sean, S-H-A-U-N, @thesimpit.com, and let me know what questions should be added, omitted, or changed. I want the poll to be as fair as possible, and I think that in the poll, the way it played out, iRacing absolutely deserved 17 categories. Part of that is our community, part of that is what iRacing brings to the table, and part of that is who their competition is. So it is what it is. 470 people voted, and that's a pretty good sampling for our community. So, yeah, it could be simplified, Billy. I agree. But at the same time, I could actually make the argument that we could blow it up to 70 questions. It's just a matter of how much time that people want to do. What I do like is that question 38 had 435 answers. So of our 470 sampling, we only lost 35 voters by the end, which means people did stick around and answer. So yeah. But I'm open to any suggestions and ideas on the topic, and we will do another one of these at the midway point next year. So, there you have it. So that is the end of today's stream. That is the news. Thank you very much, Steam, for putting that up. Very cool. Thank you all for voting in the poll, because it was very fun for me to look at the results, and it was very eye-opening. And if you think about the real point of the poll, I'm hoping that Project Cars, Assetto Corsa, R Factor 2, Race Room all saw that iRacing won 17 categories. So perhaps that will allow them to go back to the drawing board and think, well, how can we do better? How can we be more iRacing-like? That's good for all of us. So that was the real point in doing this. Not just for us to know, but hopefully for the sim companies to see and get a little slap in the face of where they could do better. And that includes iRacing. I don't think iRacing liked getting spanked in audio and visuals, and they really did. So, that's my take on it. Feel free to send me an email with your take on it, and I'm more than willing to, when this turned into a people's opinion poll, I was quite serious. This really did become a people's opinion poll, and I really want to make sure we're giving good data and getting good data. So, it's all about that. Anyway, that does it for today's show. If you are watching the show and you haven't, I so rarely do this, please tell a friend about our show. Share the show. Subscribe to the channel. Like this particular show. I need all the help I can in growing the channel. The bigger we get, the better we'll get. The better we get, the bigger we'll get. It all works like that. You being part of the pit crew, you are an essential key part of the whole new look of the Simpit. We're having a lot of fun doing it. We have a lot of great stuff planned. Like to do more than just live shows. Like I'm still working on the TGT review. So the more you can help out just by helping us grow the channel, the faster we're going to get to all the stuff we want to cover on the show. So tune in tonight at 6 for our practice for Road America. We will be back for a stream. Mitchie will be back. He put his times there. I think he said 20:30 GMT, if I'm not mistaken. You can tune in with him for some of that next level information that you're not even going to get from me. Hope you enjoyed today's show. This is the Simpit. I'm Sean Cole, and I'll see you on the track.